Vanishing point is everywhere in our lives. Take a look at the object in the room. The items that are further away from you appear smaller and closer together, and eventually, they converge into one single point, which is called a vanishing point.
The reason why we chose Vanishing Point was because we were really intrigued by the installation in the 180 The Strand. The way they used perspective as a way to reshape and redefine a space was extraordinary. It was inspired by Renaissance drawings by Battista Alberti, Leonardo da Vinci, and Albert Dürer. It featured the white beam lights, which were projected into the space from an invisible vanishing point.
Vanishing point is a point at which receding parallel lines meet when represented in linear perspective. Although perspective terms was ignored throughout history, with the breakthrough of Masolino in 1423, the first central vanishing point was occurred in an artwork called St. Peter using a cripple and the raising of Tabitha. By this breakthrough, famous Renaissance artists like Leonardo, Mantegna, and Masaccio started to use a vanishing point in their artworks. From game art to animation, perspective is the main component behind the making. With the help of the vanishing point, artists are able to draw things more precisely in terms of art.
Vanishing point is a good tool for an illustrator, which is related to draw in two-dimension graph and three-dimension graph. When I draw linear perspective, I always overlook the vanishing point. I took it for granted. After researching on it, I found its importance, no matter in spatial design, graphic design, or even in visual communication. They all require people to understand this very basic tool.
Perspective is knowledge that will let your work wonders on paper, allowing you to create exciting views of interiors and to reflect your ideas in the most effective way. There are many types of perspective, to name but a few: aerial perspective, frontal perspective / 1-point perspective, angular perspective / 2-point perspective, perspectives with 3, 4, 5, or even 6 vanishing points. In the 1-point perspective, we have a vanishing point, which is always on the horizon line. This vanishing point is where all the lines converge to. 1-point perspective is an ideal choice for depicting public spaces, bars, cafes, restaurants, hotel lobbies, as well as spacious residential interiors, sitting rooms, dining rooms, halls, and lounges. This view lets you represent your idea on a drawing by showing the maximum amount of space. Another type of perspective is a perspective with 2 vanishing points. In this view, horizon contains 2 vanishing points and the picture reveals 2 walls of a space. It is important that the distance between them should remain the same fixed value. When you have understood all the most important basic laws of perspective, you will be able to experiment with them, creating drawings with the most effective angles. 2-point perspective is a linear perspective in which there are 2 vanishing points on the horizon. This type is usually more dynamic compared to 1 point because we are able to see the volumes of objects.